decided I'm selling all my shit. I had oak furniture, $4,000 bed. I had all kinds of shit, couches, household, everything. And what I do? I told her, she wasn't even living with me at the time, I'm moving to Puerto Rico. I don't know what you finna do.
I was going to New York.
But I won't be here. I won't be here. I will not be here. Your mother is going to get off of this mainland here. I'm gone. And I left. Like months later, I was gone. I moved to Puerto Rico. I shipped hella boxes. So what I did was I called down there and paid for a P.O. box so I could send stuff to myself. And literally when I got there, remember how the place looked? The place was so small, and literally all my shit was in there. It was like 15 boxes and roller cart, because I sent my stuff. I left. So right now, this is like 2.5 years later from then, or 3 years?
About 3 years, yeah.
So this is 3 years after that. You know, living in Puerto Rico was a whole experience. I loved it. But I also understood that that wouldn't be where I was going to be for a long time, because they racist as hell in Puerto Rico to black people and even to black Puerto Ricans. And I'm like, nah, I ain't going to be here. I always wanted to come to Africa, but I didn't know where to go. You know, most black people don't know.
Right, we needed to be in Puerto Rico to even have Africa be like Puerto Rico was like a pit stop for us to de-Americanize.
There you go.
And yes, Africa was a thought, but it wasn't really, it was more of a reality when we were in Puerto Rico.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
where do we go from here?
Right. Where are we going to go from here? Exactly. Puerto Rico is an American territory, yes, but it's not America. So there is a lot of differences and things that prepared us to be in Africa. Because you can't, I'm telling you, American going straight from America to Africa, you're going to have some problems.
Child, let me tell you, Puerto Rico taught me how American I was. Puerto Rico taught me how impatient Americans are. I'm talking about myself. Impatience, demanding. I want it now. You know what I'm saying? They should be on a timely manner. Island is on island time. When I got up in the morning getting ready to go send something to FedEx, 8 o'clock, I'm Googling where the FedEx is. FedEx don't even open till 11. What the hell? So Puerto Rico taught me to get, first off, how American I am, as far as, wanting people to move faster, customer service, efficiencies. I wanted that. I felt I deserved that. Like, why are y'all moving so slow? Why am I still here spending an hour and a half? Why do I gotta go to this station, this station, this station just to go back to this station? Why y'all don't got y'all's, systems put together? Who is organizing things here? Like, I was frustrating myself trying to understand why they don't do things the way I believe that they should do them. Right. But the truth is, they're not connected to no other states. They doing it the way they doing it, and it's working for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so coming to Africa, it's even more not Americanized. So understanding that everybody ain't American already before you get to Africa is like, it was like very good for us, so we could, we didn't frustrate ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We have way more patience than when we was fresh out of America. It was
right. I went to the government. I remember I went to the government. I went to an investment conference, and all the government people was there, all the mayors of the towns, all the financial people, everybody. I got up on the mic and I was like, yeah, that's cool that y'all doing all these, tax breaks for people bringing their businesses here. You know what I'm saying? I brought my brokerage out here to sell real estate and everything, and my family. But in your official website for the state, it says that the languages of Puerto Rico is Spanish and English. But when you go to get your driver's license, when you go to get your lights turned on, when you go to get your cable, when you go to get your water, don't nobody speak English. I said, so have you guys thought about the ecosystem of the families where all these businesses are coming here, but then the people who are running the businesses, who maybe know a little bit of Spanish like myself, have to take time off and go spend a whole day at the DMV with your daughter so she can get her license. You got to go spend a whole day on the phone with Claro so you can get internet. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, have y'all thought about how y'all say this, that, and the third, but you ain't thinking about the whole family? Because just a tax break ain't gonna make it worth it for us to go through all these problems when you got English as one of your official languages.
Right.
Everybody was like, oh shit, go get her number. I got all the mayor's numbers. Everybody, it was crazy. I was getting ready to turn up in Puerto Rico, but then the governor did his thing. Go look up Ricky, Ricardo, you know, when they had the Maria, you know, a lot of aid and money and supplies was sent to Puerto Rico to take care of them, and they didn't pass them out. They just let them, you know, expire. They had a group chat talking all kind of shit about the people who died. So Puerto Rico wasn't having it. They literally, I was so proud of them. Literally in one day, they got over 1 million people to come outside. 1 million people. I was going to go to the VA to get my daddy's medicine. They blocked the whole entire freeway. So I pulled up too, got out, started protesting. Like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so but it just didn't work. And then COVID, you know what I'm saying? We had a boutique. And it was literally, we opened in January, and literally by March, they was like, non-essential businesses closed down, shut down. So we was like at home drinking coffee. What we gonna do? Sell stuff online, you know, but it just wasn't the place for us at the end of the day.
Yeah, for our growth.
But we did grow there though. During that COVID time when we couldn't leave the house, what did we do? We read books.
Yeah, we were reading.
We got really closer to God. I, you know, taught you a lot about spirituality, about the beginning of things. You know, she really went through like a transformation in Puerto Rico. It was like necessary for our growth as mother and daughter, as a family. You know what I'm saying? She went through her thing. We went through it because I didn't let her go through it alone, and it's just a big deal because we're here now. We're pretty cool.
You done made it.
Care what nobody say. Shoot, we made it, nigga. We made it. So yeah, she was talking earlier about something that happened health-wise and why we, you know, decided to do this podcast. In April, I experienced the scariest thing that probably ever happened to me in my life. I contracted malaria, and before April, I believed that I couldn't get a malaria because I've been in Africa over a year. I have anemia, and apparently there's some sort of thing with anemia, and malaria doesn't really happen. You know,
That's what we thought.
That's what we thought. We read something about it because I'm like, how come everybody around us had malaria one time, like the neighbors downstairs, upstairs, next door. And we're like, the same mosquitoes is biting us, you know, and my daughters are also anemic like me. So, you know, and none of us got it. So we was thinking we were immune, or, you know, it was hard for us to catch it. So long story short, one day my period started and I felt like I had the flu, you know, and I'm like, damn, this is crazy. So I'm Googling stuff and trying to see if this is how it works out, you know, and they're like, yeah, there's a thing called period flu. So I just figured I was gonna be down for the count for about 4 days. When the period was over, it got worse. And, you know, I was throwing up and stuff, and, you know, eventually I just went to sleep and didn't want to get up, didn't want to wake up for days. And my daughter, thank goodness for her thinking, she said, she's like, Mom, you need to go to the hospital. Like, you know, you're not eating nothing, you're not getting up, I was incoherent. She said stuff to me, I'm looking at her like, I don't understand what she's saying. I don't remember a lot of that. And went to the hospital, ended up having a really severe case of malaria and a Dunge fever, which is like a prehistoric as fever that shouldn't even be out, and that should have been taken care of with the yellow fever vaccine that I did receive. So they are perplexed about my health. They don't understand how this even triggered, my anemia, what happened to trigger the anemia, and what happened so it's basically I was having anemic responses, severe malaria responses, and Dunge fever. So I was in the hospital. My mental was gone. Like I want to go home. I've been here for days. They was like, you just got here. No, I didn't. I've been here for days. I want to go home. And it was wild. Everybody was like, what the hell? I had to get blood transfusion, 2 of them. My blood was compromised because malaria attacks your red blood cells, and I'm anemic, so I had to get blood transfusions, and and Dunge also, right, and it makes you have hallucinations and all kinds of stuff. I was in there thinking that shit was 3D printing, and there was like, it was literally like almost psychedelic. You know what I'm saying? There was lights. There was
she also you wasn't eating for a while as well. Like it was a lot of factors that played into the mental part of it, because you was on drugs and you was sick and you wasn't sleeping. Like at first you was sleeping, but then you wasn't sleeping, and then you wasn't eating. So it was just like a perfect cocktail for disaster at that time.
Yes, but my life was in the balance. Like I could have died from that. And so from that experience, it made us like look at each other and our situation and our life, like what the hell?
Right, and that leads to, because in America, as Black people, you avoid going to the hospital. Like you really try to solve your own issues, just because medical bills are crazy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna thug this out. It ain't that serious. I didn't even have pain, you guys. Like that's the thing. Like I wasn't in pain. Like it was weird. Like I had body aches and stuff like that, but it wasn't like I was like, oh my god. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even get pain drugs in the hospital. All I got was the medicine to treat the stuff, but they didn't give me no pain medicines. As a Black woman, I guess, and over time, you know what I'm saying? Like we just learned to deal with it. Don't take the medicine unless it's really bad.
But how bad does it get before it's really bad?
Exactly.
You waited it out. That could, we had to go to the hospital when we did. We should have went earlier.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. We was just like, oh no. At first you thought it was your period, so we look, we're gonna wait out. But this is the thing. You don't get issues during your period.
Never.
So anything that's abnormal, you
need to go check it out.
Go check it out. Like unfortunately, yes, in America, the medical bills could be ridiculous. But if you are not in America, like out here, there's no excuse.
Right. No, y'all wouldn't believe how much my hospital stay was, and blood transfusions, and food, and supplies. And you would not believe it. It's so cheap. It was so cheap. It was so cheap. It was so cheap. And so, like, now we're recalibrating our mental on going to the hospital. We have to go check yourself out, Black people. Like, if it's not normal, go look. At least it's not gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? Go see. Go see.
Right. Go find you witch doctor, somebody, somebody who could help, who could give you what you need. Because I know in America, they are killing Black people in the hospitals. Like it just sucks because there's a lot of factors for why Black people don't go to the hospital.
Exactly. They don't even believe us when we say we're in pain. Like when I was having her in the hospital, like.